Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the collective. Collective, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. I hope everyone is doing well. This is a quick energy update to see what's going on with all of you. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy, I haven't used this in a very long time. It's called the Archeo Personal Archetype card deck. For the overall energy, and for the tarot portion of the reading, the Prisma Visions Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the collective. Angel, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the collective? Thank you. The Alchemist. Look at that. What's beautiful about a lot of these cards is that I don't feel as though there's one correct orientation. I mean, some of them, yes, and some of them, no. And that feels relevant somehow, that we can look at this card, or we can look at a situation from multiple angles. And I think that's perhaps what you're doing right now. You're looking at something from multiple angles. There's a lot going on here symbolically. This feels like an Ace of Pentacles from the tarot, where Spirit is extending an offer, an opportunity, a door opening for you. What comes forth from that offer? Perhaps a lot of growth, a lot of rejuvenation. This feels like balance to me. It feels like yin yang, even though it's not exactly. That's how Spirit is giving it to me, that there's this masculine, feminine, yin yang, energetic balance. That's everything is being balanced on Spirit's hand. And it's almost like you're coming in with your key here, your skeleton key, the key that opens every door. It's almost like you are responsible for unlocking this offer that Spirit is making. The Alchemist is someone who can transform something from one state of being to another state of being. Very reminiscent of the Temperance card of the Major Arcana. Base metals into gold, pain into power. You could be transmuting a lot of energy right now. Especially if you're an empath, or you're a light worker, you are being bombarded at this time with the energy of the world. It is overwhelming, sometimes maddening, and the perpetual empath is expected to, in a way, alleviate some of this stress and pain that people are going through right now, through words, through love. Spirit just said through hugs. I'm being reminded of one of my very close friends. He gave me a tremendous gift of a hug once at work. I was just having a moment, and I just needed somebody to be kind to me. And he gave me a hug. And it just lasted like 3 seconds longer than like a normal, like, hey, pat on the back kind of hug. He just truly meant it, like from his heart. And it was not in any way sexual. It was not in any way inappropriate. It was just a friend giving me a hug. And I couldn't stop thinking about how much I needed that hug, how I needed another human being to see me. And whereas a lot of the times I'm that human being that sees others. Everyone has told me that. That's not me being trying to be arrogant about it. Like, this is what I do. This is who I am in the world. And for once, I just needed somebody else to transmute my energy and make it into something that I could recognize again as loving. And I feel as though that could be what you are unlocking at this time. I'm going to get 3 cards. It's just a temperature check. Okay, 4 cards came out. It's incredible. It's incredible because I've done, this is the 3rd reading I've done today, and the moon has shown up so prominently. There's so many synchronicities that keep happening, and I don't know, it's a couple days after the lunar eclipse, but I've just been seeing so many synchronicities today. It's incredible. Maybe that's happening to you as well. And you know, I was having, it's a strange thing that has occurred, and Spirit wants me to kind of talk about it a little bit, that ever since I came into union with my twin flame, which has been one of the most remarkable things of my entire life. It's a saga that spanned almost 10 years, nine and a half years, okay? But anyway, my connection to Spirit looks different. And I haven't been seeing as many synchronicities. My ears haven't been ringing as much, which is not to say that Spirit is not with me. My ancestors are not with me. Of course they are. But I haven't, all the things that I used to rely on to indicate to me Spirit's presence are not coming as fast and furious as they used to. Perhaps because being in union with my twin is reflecting back to me, directly reflecting back to me Spirit's presence, right? But anyway, so I talked to Spirit quite frankly the other day, quite pointedly, and said, "What's going on, Spirit? Like, am I doing something wrong?" I was feeling kind of insecure about it. Like, am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something right? It's almost as if I missed that connection in the way that I was used to it. So grateful for my twin, but the connection to Spirit is just so fun and special, and I never want to lose that. And I feel as though today it's like they're showing me their presence. But I asked for it, right? This offer from Spirit, I asked for it. So this is another synchronicity with the moon. I tell that story just because you may have been asking in your prayers, in your meditation, for signs. Where are you, Spirit? Where are you, Source? I miss you. A little bit of howling at the moon. The moon card is number 18 of the Major Arcana. Major Arcana cards in the tarot talk about really divinely guided energies. They talk about the archetypes of human experience. This archetype represents mysteries, secrets, illusion, and confusion. Your shadow side, your shadow self. So the moon illuminates in the darkness, right? If we've ever looked at the moon on a clear night, a full moon, it's almost like a whole light is on. It's like the sun is shining, but it's not the sun, it's the moon. It's the sun reflecting off of the moon. It's so powerful. and so ethereal, magical. And so while this card can talk about secrets and illusions, for you today, it feels like you're basking in the mystery. It's okay if there's a little bit of mystery. That's what makes life fun. And that's what I'm feeling from your energy right now. Yes, there are things that I don't know. The outcome is still up in the air, but that's what makes life fun. The next card we have is another major arcana, number 8, Leo energy. So we have Pisces with the moon and Leo with the strength card in reverse. So Pisces, Leo, if you are here, you showed up in your reading. You can see here what the card looks like in the upright. It's almost like this lion energy is lying in wait. And I wanted to use that expression very specifically, lying in wait. It's strange because if you see there's like other lions in the background, it almost looks like a field of sunflowers, doesn't it? Kind of in a strange way. The strength card in the upright often represents a certain kind of inner courageousness. When we face down our fears, but we don't let those fears define us. When you get the card in reverse, it's almost like there are some things that could perhaps be egocentered, that could be rearing their ugly heads. For example, because now Spirit is giving me that expression, comparison is the thief of joy. So let's say you're in a work scenario and you're up for promotion, but you have competition. And there could be somebody that has slightly better odds or slightly more work experience, or they just have an edge. And there could be a part of you that's feeling like really jealous, really competitive, almost to the point of wanting to, disparage that other person, at least maybe in your own mind, which is not something that I would encourage, because it's like when we start to feeling like we have to prove ourselves, that's when we get into very heavy ego territory, and ultimately it's not healthy for us. You are you, your uniqueness is what makes you the most special thing in the whole world. That other person's uniqueness does the same for them. When the strength card is in reverse, it's like the energy is debilitated. So it's like pettiness. I feel pettiness. So there's a word of caution, because even though we can feel like the mystery in life is the exciting part, there could be some everyday responsibilities that are causing you to feel like you have to keep up. There's a heavy competition energy that I feel with that strength card in the reverse. I feel like there's some aspect of you that is almost like, maybe it's almost like I'm going to prove to myself that I can be fun, that I can be mysterious, that I can be dynamic and risk-taking. You're feeling like you have to prove it. Maybe because of the 5 of chalices here. 5 of chalices, 5 of cups. There could have been a situation where there was some love lost, because I see 3 cups. You see this character is, the 3 cups are spilling into the water. There's still 2 cups on the banks or the shoreline here, or the little cliffside that he's on, but 3 of the cups are in the water. Sometimes this card can represent sadness, depression, martyrdom, feeling forlorn. We don't want to necessarily, we can experience this, but we don't want to stay in this place. We don't want to stay in the energy where we're feeling sorry for ourselves. Because it's one of these tough love moments where Spirit wants to say to you, you have to help yourself. We can help you too, but you also have to help yourself. You have a brilliant mind and a beautiful heart. And sometimes what is required to summon our own strength is our ability to pivot and rally, to have coping skills, to develop coping skills, even if it's minute to minute. When we feel really overwhelmed, it's like, can we just recognize for a moment, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and then take a pause and recenter ourselves. So that happened to me, I would say like a week ago. I was feeling like an anxiety attack coming on, because I suffer from anxiety, and I knew that it was happening, and I knew that if I didn't stop for a moment and take care of it, it was going to come out in a way that I wouldn't prefer. Like I would snap at somebody at work, or, you know, which I do, but usually when I snap at people at work, it's kind of in a weird, charming way. But I knew this was not going to be charming. This was going to result in somebody else's tears or my tears. So in that moment, I recognized, okay, I'm feeling this energy where things are slipping through my fingers. So instead of going back to my office, I turned and I went out the door, and I leaned. There's a particular tree that's near my job, and sometimes I will lean up against that tree just to ground myself. It's not a particularly large tree or a particularly impressive tree, but it's a beautiful tree nonetheless, and it helps me. And so I just stood out there, I want to say for 10 minutes, and I just did some breathing exercises. I leaned up against the tree. I let the sunlight hit my face, and then I went back inside. And I wouldn't say, oh, the anxiety and the problems, they just magically disappeared. I wouldn't say that, but I would say that I was able to summon up enough fortitude to recognize a few things, that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes, that it doesn't define me. This could be a hard message. I feel like my throat chakra closing. This could hit close to home for some of you. But at least it's good if it resonates, because then you know what's actually happening and you can take steps to do something about it, to recognize it within you so that it doesn't overtake you. Right? Knight of Swords. When we face down our fears, when we are brave for ourselves, then we actually have a lot to offer. A lot to offer the world. The Knight of Swords brings fast movement, like riding in on their horse in a very swift way with a message to deliver, some information to offer, some epiphanies and some breakthroughs. That's what the Knight of Swords is all about. So it's like you coming in to slay the beast, even if that beast is just within your own psyche. Can I get a last card of advice? 10 of Wands. You know, really allowing yourself to see where you've come from, all of the experiences that you've amassed, that you have under your belt, and to then cast everything off that no longer belongs. 10 of Wands can be the card of burden. But by the time we reach the 10, we're ready for our Ace of Wands. We're ready for our new beginning. We're ready for that catalyst energy, that gift from Spirit that will inspire us to move differently, to behave differently. We're not giving up any of our experiences, but we're simply saying, it doesn't have to hold me down. It doesn't have to hold me back. And I think that's the revelation that you're coming to at this time. That you're, through the process of transmutation and alchemy, that you're finally recognizing how you can take all of these experiences and create something new. What is that new thing? Number 14 of the major arcana, Sagittarius energy. Temperance. The card of alchemy. I told you spirit synchronicities are so strong today. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. The Temperance card, not just, turning one thing into another thing. It's this idea of turning base metals into gold, pain into power, right? But it's also the idea of patience, of taking our time, of investing into this process of alchemy. There's a great level of maturity with this card. And I think this is where you're headed, and it's so beautiful. That's your reading, collective. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you.